You wake up in the morning, and the first thing you feel isn't energy. It's that dull ache in your knees again. You stretch a little, thinking maybe you slept wrong. But deep down, you've felt this before. Your legs feel heavier, your back stiffer, and climbing the stairs isn't as easy as it used to be. You take your calcium every day. You drink your milk. You even try to stay active. But somehow, your bones still feel weaker month after month. You start wondering, what's going on? Doctors always say, just take more calcium. But what if the truth is that calcium alone isn't enough? What if your body simply can't use that calcium properly, especially after 60? Because here's something most people were never told. After a certain age, your body's ability to absorb calcium drops dramatically. So even if you're taking the right supplements, they might not be reaching your bones the way you think. But here's the good news. Tonight, your body has a secret window of time, a few precious hours, where it naturally repairs, rebuilds, and strengthens your bones, if you give it the right nutrients to work with. In this video, I'll show you exactly which 2 vitamins help your body use calcium more effectively while you sleep, backed by research, not rumors. These aren't miracle pills or expensive treatments, just simple nutrients that help your body do what it was designed to do. Keep your bones strong, your joints flexible, and your steps steady, no matter your age. So if you've ever been told, just take more calcium, stay with me till the end, because what you're about to learn could completely change how you think about bone strength and how you feel when you wake up tomorrow morning. When you were 30, your body was like a perfect construction site. Every bone cell knew its job. You drink a glass of milk, and boom, your bones absorb that calcium like a sponge. Strong, flexible, alive. But after 60, something changes quietly. Your bones don't rebuild as fast anymore. Your body starts sending that calcium not to your bones, but to all the wrong places. See, calcium doesn't float freely in your blood. It needs guides, nutrients that tell it where to go and what to do. Without those guides, calcium gets lost. It starts to pile up in your arteries, your joints, even your kidneys. That's why so many seniors have stiff joints, brittle bones, and high blood pressure all at the same time. It's the same calcium, just in the wrong place. You think you're helping your bones by taking calcium, but your body might be saying, I can't use this anymore. Why? Because as we age, we produce less of the hormones and enzymes that actually activate calcium. The construction workers are still there, but the blueprint is gone. And when that blueprint disappears, your body does what it always does when it's confused. It stores the extra calcium anywhere it can. That's when you start to notice stiffness in the morning, dull aches in your knees, or that strange crunch sound when you stretch. It's not just old age. It's misplaced calcium. I've seen this hundreds of times in my patients. They take calcium faithfully every day, and yet every bone scan shows the same result: no improvement. That's when I realized something important. It's not about how much calcium you take. It's about how your body uses it. Because your body doesn't build bone from calcium alone. It needs the directors, the vitamins that tell calcium what to do and where to go. 2 of them, to be exact. 2 small, forgotten nutrients that make all the difference between strong bones and silent bone loss. In a moment, I'll reveal exactly what these 2 nutrients are and why taking them before bed can literally change how your body rebuilds bone overnight. But before we get there, let's understand the real problem. Your body isn't short on calcium. It's short on calcium control. And once you fix that, you'll notice something amazing. Your joints move easier, your balance improves, and that dull ache in your legs, it starts to fade. Because the truth is, Your body doesn't need more calcium, it needs smarter calcium. Stay with me, because the next few minutes might finally explain why your calcium pills never worked, and how 2 simple nutrients can finally wake up your bones again. Her name is Margaret. She's 72, and for almost 10 years, she took calcium tablets every single morning. She never missed a day. She believed she was doing everything right, just like her doctor said. But one winter morning, she slipped in her kitchen. Nothing major, just a small fall. Yet when she stood up, her hip was broken. When her scans came back, her doctor was shocked. Despite years of calcium supplements, her bones were paper thin. And worse, her arteries were full of calcium deposits. The very mineral she was trying to build her bones with was hardening her arteries instead. How could that happen? Here's the truth no one talks about. Calcium doesn't know where to go on its own. It's like a truck loaded with building materials, but no GPS. It can end up in the wrong neighborhood. Your heart, your joints, your kidneys. Unless something guides it to your bones. That something is vitamin K2.
Vitamin K2 acts like a traffic officer in your bloodstream. It tells calcium, you go into the bones, and you stay out of the arteries. Without K2, calcium becomes a problem. With K2, it becomes your body's best friend again. That's why in places like Japan, where people eat foods rich in K2, like natto, fermented soybeans, rates of bone fractures and heart disease among the elderly are far lower than in the West. In a 10-year study from the Netherlands, older adults who took vitamin K2 every day had 50% less arterial calcification and stronger bone density than those who didn't. 50%, all from a vitamin most people have never even heard of. Here's how it works. K2 activates 2 special proteins, osteocalcin and matrix GLA protein. Osteocalcin grabs calcium and locks it into your bones. Matrix GLA protein keeps calcium out of your arteries. Think of it like this. Calcium builds the house, but vitamin K2 is the architect who decides where every brick should go. Without the architect, the house collapses. So where can you get K2 naturally? You'll find it in foods that many people stopped eating years ago. Egg yolks, grass-fed butter, hard cheeses, and that old-fashioned liver your grandmother used to cook. But here's the catch. Most modern diets are completely missing these foods. We've been told to fear fats, skip yolks, and buy low-fat everything. And in doing so, we starved our bones from the very nutrient they need to stay alive. That's why when my patients add K2 back into their diet, within months, their bone density scans start to improve. They feel stronger, steadier. They stop hearing that quiet crunch in their knees every time they get out of bed. And the best part? When you combine K2 with the right partner nutrient, you don't just stop bone loss, you actually start rebuilding it. In a moment, I'll tell you what that second nutrient is, the one that activates this entire process while you sleep. But remember this, calcium without K2 is like bricks without cement. It just piles up. But with K2, those same bricks become the foundation of strength that holds you upright, steady, and confident, no matter your age. So if you've been taking calcium for years and still feeling weaker, don't blame yourself. You were missing the real hero all along. And his name is vitamin K2. Every morning, millions of seniors wake up, open their curtains, and let the sunlight touch their faces, without realizing that those few rays carry one of nature's most powerful medicines. It's called vitamin D3, also known as the sunshine vitamin. And without it, your calcium and K2 are almost useless. Here's something most people never hear from their doctor. Vitamin D3 is what activates calcium and K2. It turns them from raw materials into living strength. Think of your body as a construction site. Calcium brings the bricks, K2 tells the bricks where to go, but vitamin D3, It's the power switch that turns the lights on and gets the workers moving. Without that light, nothing happens. During deep sleep, between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., your body enters what scientists call the repair zone. That's when growth hormone peaks, tissues rebuild, and calcium gets deposited into your bones. But this process can only begin when vitamin D3 levels are high enough to trigger it. That's why so many seniors feel weak, even though they eat right and take their supplements, because their D3 levels are too low. A Harvard study tracked 400 seniors over 8 months. Those who took 2,000 to 4,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily gained 7 times more muscle mass than those who didn't. 7 times! Not because they trained harder, but because their bodies were finally able to use what they already had. Here's what happens when you take vitamin D3 at night. Your body quietly begins to repair itself as you sleep. Your muscle cells have special receptors called VDRs, and these receptors wake up when vitamin D3 enters your system. They tell your muscles, start absorbing calcium. Use today's protein to rebuild tissue. Release testosterone and growth hormones. That's why seniors with higher D3 levels wake up feeling rested, while others feel like they've aged overnight. If you prefer getting it naturally, it's simple. A single piece of salmon grilled with herbs contains more vitamin D than most people get in an entire week. Add a few roasted mushrooms, some mashed sweet potatoes with grass-fed butter, and you've just created a nighttime bone repair meal. And if you're old-fashioned, a teaspoon of cod liver oil, just like the Vikings used to take during long, dark winters, is still one of the best natural sources of vitamin D3 on Earth. The difference now? You don't need to fight battles. You just need to fight weakness. When vitamin D3 joins forces with K2, they become unstoppable. Together, they guide calcium into your bones like precision engineers. And every night, while you sleep, your skeleton quietly rebuilds itself, stronger, thicker, and more stable. That's why I always tell my older patients, forget just taking calcium. Without vitamin D3 and K2, it's like pouring cement without a mold. It will harden, but not where you need it. But when you give your body all three, calcium, K2, and vitamin D3, something beautiful happens. You don't just slow aging, you reverse the loss of strength that you thought was gone forever. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing your knees don't ache anymore. Your back feels lighter, and climbing stairs doesn't feel like a battle. That's not a miracle. That's what happens when your body finally has the tools to heal itself. Now, before you rush to take your supplements, you need to know when and how to take them, because timing is everything. Take them at the wrong time, and you could lose 60% of their benefits overnight. In the next part, I'll reveal the exact nighttime timing plan I use with my senior patients, and I'll also warn you about the 3 supplements you should never take before bed, no matter what the label says. Because getting stronger isn't just about what you take, it's about what you avoid. You've heard it your entire life. Take calcium, it keeps your bones strong. But what if that advice was only half true? What if while you thought you were protecting your bones, you were actually doing the opposite? Recent studies have shown that taking calcium supplements, especially at night or without the right nutrients, can cause calcium to build up in the wrong places. Instead of reaching your bones, some of that calcium ends up in your blood vessels. And over time, it can harden your arteries, making them stiff and narrow. It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? You take calcium to stay strong, yet it could be silently increasing your risk of heart problems. That's because calcium alone isn't the problem. It's the lack of guidance. Calcium needs help. It needs vitamins and hormones that tell it where to go. Without them, calcium is like a pile of bricks without a builder. It just sits there in the wrong place, doing more harm than good. Most calcium supplements on the market today are made from calcium carbonate, basically chalk.
Your stomach has a hard time breaking it down, especially as you get older. With low stomach acid and weak digestion, your body absorbs only a small part of it, and the rest can circulate in your bloodstream, settling where it shouldn't. So if you've been taking those big white pills before bed, believing they're keeping you strong, you need to know the truth. They might not be helping your bones at all. In fact, they might be making things worse. But here's the good news. There are two specific nutrients that act like traffic controllers for calcium. They make sure it goes exactly where it should. When you take them together, especially before bed, your body starts a natural repair process that moves calcium into your bones, strengthens your muscles, and restores balance while you sleep. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next.
Let's start with the first key nutrient that decides where calcium goes inside your body, vitamin K2. Most people have never even heard of it. Yet without K2, calcium becomes lost. It doesn't know where to go. It can't tell the difference between your bones and your arteries. Vitamin K2 acts like a traffic officer inside your body. It directs calcium to your bones and teeth, where you need it, and keeps it out of your heart, kidneys, and arteries, where you don't. When K2 levels are low, calcium can't find its way. It starts building up in soft tissues, slowly turning flexible areas into hard, brittle ones. And that's one of the hidden reasons why so many older adults struggle with stiffness, joint pain, or high blood pressure, even when they're eating well. Here's the truth. You can take all the calcium in the world, but if your K2 levels are low, your body simply won't use it correctly. It's like having a truck full of building materials, but no blueprint. The result? Wasted calcium and weak bones. Researchers from the European Journal of Nutrition found that people with higher K2 intake had much stronger bones, fewer fractures, and significantly lower risks of artery calcification and heart disease. And yet, almost no one gets enough of it. Why? Because K2 is found mostly in foods we rarely eat today, like fermented soybeans, grass-fed butter, egg yolks, and certain cheeses. Most diets, especially modern ones, are practically empty of K2. That's why, if you're over 60, K2 isn't optional, it's essential. It's what makes sure the calcium you take doesn't end up in your arteries. And when you combine it with the second nutrient we'll talk about next, you create a perfect balance that allows your body to rebuild bone and protect your heart at the same time. Now let's talk about the second nutrient, the one that unlocks calcium's true power inside your body. Vitamin D3. If calcium is the building block and K2 is the traffic officer, then vitamin D3 is the key that opens the gate. Without it, calcium can't even enter your bones. It just passes through, unused. Here's something most people don't realize. Your body does 70% of its bone repair and renewal at night, especially between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. That's when bone-forming cells, called osteoblasts, become most active. But those cells can't do anything unless vitamin D3 tells them to. During sleep, vitamin D3 activates special receptors in your bones and muscles. These receptors signal your body to absorb more calcium from the foods you ate during the day and guide it directly into your bone tissue, where healing and rebuilding happen. Without enough D3, this nighttime repair process can slow down by more than half. You might be eating healthy, exercising, even taking supplements, but still losing bone density because your body can't use the calcium you give it. In one remarkable Harvard study, over 400 seniors with low vitamin D were tracked for 8 months. Those who took D3 daily gained bone strength up to 28% faster, and their muscle recovery improved dramatically, especially those who took it in the evening with a meal rich in healthy fats. It's simple but powerful. If you want your calcium to work while you sleep, vitamin D3 must be there to open the door.
Even ancient civilizations knew this. During long winters, when sunlight was scarce, Viking warriors consumed cod liver oil, rich in natural D3, to maintain their strength and prevent bone loss. And the same principle applies today. A small piece of salmon, a few egg yolks, or even fortified milk in the evening can dramatically improve your D3 levels. Combine that with your calcium-rich dinner, and you've just given your body the perfect recipe for bone renewal overnight, naturally, while you rest. Because remember, bones don't grow in the gym or at the dinner table. They grow quietly while you sleep. But before you rush to grab your calcium and vitamin D3 supplements, there's something you must know. Because no matter how perfect your diet is, no matter how many supplements you take, if you're still doing these 3 common things, you're silently blocking calcium from ever reaching your bones. And the third one will shock you, because 8 out of 10 seniors do it every night without realizing. Let's begin. Mistake number 1. Taking calcium at the wrong time. Most people take their calcium first thing in the morning or right before bed, thinking it doesn't matter. But here's what science actually shows. Calcium absorption follows your body's circadian rhythm, your internal clock. During the day, especially in the afternoon and early evening, your digestive enzymes are most active. That's when your intestines can pull calcium from your food most efficiently. Taking calcium too early, on an empty stomach, means most of it just passes through your system unabsorbed. And taking it too late, right before lying down, can interfere with your natural nighttime hormone cycle, reducing the signals that help calcium reach your bones. So when's the best time? About 1 to 2 hours after your evening meal, when digestion is still active and your vitamin D3 levels are ready to transport calcium where it belongs. Mistake number 2. Pairing calcium with the wrong foods. You've probably seen commercials showing people drinking milk with coffee or chocolate. But caffeine, cocoa, and even high-fiber cereals can bind to calcium and block its absorption. That means your healthy evening coffee might actually be stealing calcium from your bones. And it's not just drinks. Foods high in oxalates like spinach or beets, while healthy on their own, can trap calcium in your gut and prevent it from ever entering your bloodstream. The fix is simple. If you love your greens, balance them with a small portion of healthy fats, like olive oil or grass-fed butter. These fats help unlock calcium and make it more bioavailable. Mistake number 3. Ignoring magnesium balance. Wait, didn't we just say magnesium isn't the hero? True, but here's the catch. Your body needs small amounts of magnesium to activate the enzymes that help calcium settle in your bones. The problem is, most people take too much magnesium in supplement form, especially at night. That's when magnesium acts as a muscle relaxant, which sounds good, but it also slows calcium transport and reduces bone-building signals.
So the goal isn't to cut magnesium completely. It's to balance it, getting it naturally from leafy greens, seeds, or nuts earlier in the day, so it supports, not blocks, your nighttime calcium repair. These 3 simple changes alone can turn your calcium from just another pill into an actual bone-rebuilding tool, something that works while you sleep, not against you. Now that you know what's been stopping calcium from working for you, let's fix it the right way. Because when you combine calcium, vitamin D3, and K2 in the right order and timing, you create what scientists call a bone synergy effect, a chain reaction that helps your body rebuild bone tissue naturally without the side effects of heavy medications. Here's exactly how it works. When you eat your evening meal, preferably something rich in healthy fats, your digestive system becomes active. That's the perfect time to take your vitamin D3. It will start preparing your body to absorb calcium more efficiently. About 1 hour later, when your body begins slowing down for the night, that's when you take your calcium.
ideally in a form that's easy to digest, like calcium citrate or calcium hydroxyapatite. At that moment, D3 acts like a signal, telling your intestines to open the door and let calcium in. And finally, before you go to bed, about 30 minutes later, take your K2. This is the secret step most people miss, because that's when K2 guides calcium away from your arteries and straight into your bones, where your osteoblasts, your bone-building cells, are most active during deep sleep. This simple timing sequence, D3 with dinner, calcium an hour later, and K2 just before bed, has been shown in clinical studies to improve calcium absorption and bone density by over 38% in adults over 60. Now, let me tell you about Eleanor. She's 74 years old, retired nurse, strong, but tired of feeling weak. Her bone scans showed early signs of osteoporosis. She was taking calcium every single day, faithfully, but her results didn't change. When we reviewed her routine, we found she was taking her calcium first thing in the morning with black coffee. Her vitamin D was low, and she wasn't taking K2 at all. We switched her schedule. D3 with her evening salmon, calcium an hour later with a glass of warm milk, and K2 just before sleep. 3 months later, her next scan showed a 6% increase in bone density. Her balance improved, and she said she felt younger in her bones. No medications, no extreme diets, just timing, balance, and consistency. It's amazing what happens when you give your body the right tools at the right time. Because here's the truth. Your body never forgets how to heal. It just needs the right environment to do it. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you. You don't always need expensive supplements to rebuild your bones. In fact, some of the most powerful calcium boosters are already sitting quietly in your kitchen right now. Here are 3 natural, science-backed foods that help your body absorb calcium more effectively, especially while you sleep.
Number 1, sardines or small fish with bones. Most people don't realize this, but the tiny soft bones inside sardines are pure natural calcium, and a form your body absorbs far better than pills. Even more interesting, sardines are loaded with vitamin D and omega-3s, which reduce inflammation in bone tissue and improve calcium transport. A small serving, just 3 or 4 pieces, can deliver more calcium than a glass of milk. And when eaten in the evening with a bit of olive oil, they become a perfect nighttime bone meal. Number 2, kefir or fermented yogurt. You've heard the probiotics are good for the gut, but did you know your gut health directly controls how much calcium your body absorbs? Kefir contains specific probiotic strains like Lactobacillus casei that enhance calcium uptake in the intestines. They also produce small amounts of vitamin K2 naturally, helping direct calcium to your bones. Drinking a small cup of kefir before bed not only supports better sleep through natural tryptophan, but also strengthens the calcium absorption process overnight. Number 3, sesame seeds or tahini. These tiny seeds are a powerhouse of minerals, calcium, zinc, magnesium, and copper, all essential for bone strength. What makes them unique is their natural ratio of calcium to phosphorus, almost identical to human bone composition. A tablespoon of tahini in your evening salad can provide up to 120 milligrams of easily absorbable calcium. And if you combine these 3 foods, a few sardines, a spoon of tahini, and a small glass of kefir, you've just created what researchers call a functional bone meal. It's simple, natural, and designed by nature to help your body rebuild itself while you sleep. Remember, your bones are living tissue. They respond to how you treat them every single day. Even small, consistent habits like these can reverse years of weakness and restore your natural strength. Now that you know how the right vitamins can help your body use calcium effectively while you sleep, you might be wondering, is that all I can do to protect my bones? What if there was something even simpler, something that doesn't come in a capsule or a bottle, but can still trigger your body to push more calcium right into your bones every single night? Believe it or not, scientists have recently uncovered a small, almost hidden secret. A movement so gentle, so effortless that you can do it lying down. And yet it sends a powerful signal to your bones to stay strong and dense. It was first developed for astronauts to help them fight bone loss in zero gravity. But here's the shocking part. It works even better for seniors right here on Earth. And in just a moment, I'll show you exactly how it works, how long to do it, and why it might just be the missing link your body's been waiting for. So stay with me, because what you're about to learn next could completely change how you think about bone health forever. Every night while you sleep, your bones aren't resting. They're quietly rebuilding, tiny cells repairing, replacing, and strengthening your skeleton from within. But here's the catch. This process only happens efficiently if your body senses movement before sleep. Strange, right? You think rest builds strength, but your body actually needs a gentle reminder first, a signal that tells your bones, stay active, stay strong. That's where this simple nighttime movement comes in. It was originally developed by NASA scientists for astronauts who lose bone density rapidly in zero gravity, sometimes up to 1% per month. In space, without gravity pulling on the bones, the body thinks the skeleton isn't needed, so it starts breaking it down. To stop that, scientists created a series of light rhythmic muscle contractions, just enough to wake up the bone-building cells, without needing heavy exercise or even standing up. And it turns out, this same gentle movement works wonders for seniors here on Earth. So, what is it? It's something I call the circulation pulse. And no, it's not a workout. It takes less than 5 minutes, and you can do it right before bed, even while sitting or lying down. Here's how it works. Simply tense the muscles in your legs and arms, just slightly, as if you're pressing your feet into the floor or your hands into the mattress. Hold for 3 seconds and release. Then repeat. That's it. These tiny contractions do something powerful. They push fresh, oxygen-rich blood through your bones, delivering calcium, vitamin K2, and D3 exactly where they're needed most. And when that blood flow increases, your osteoblasts, the bone-building cells, become more active, absorbing minerals faster, repairing microdamage, and strengthening bone density overnight. Studies from the Journal of Applied Physiology have shown that even micro movements done before sleep can increase bone calcium uptake by up to 23%. That's almost a quarter more strength, just from a few gentle squeezes before bed. And the best part? This movement doesn't just help your bones. It also improves your circulation, reduces leg stiffness, and helps you fall asleep faster thanks to the release of relaxation hormones like GABA and serotonin. So here's the simple nightly routine I recommend. Sit or lie comfortably. Take a slow breath in. Press your heels gently into the ground or mattress for 3 seconds, then release. Squeeze your fists lightly, hold, then release. Do this 10 to 15 times while breathing slowly. You'll feel warmth spread through your limbs. That's circulation. That's life returning to your bones. And as you close your eyes, your body will begin using that fresh oxygen and nutrient flow to rebuild from within, exactly as nature intended. Because bone strength isn't built in the gym. It's built in these quiet moments when your body finally has what it needs: the right nutrients, the right timing, and a little gentle motion.
So tonight, before you sleep, try this 5-minute circulation pulse. It might seem small, but your bones will remember it. Most people think calcium works the moment they take it, but the truth is, timing changes everything. You can eat the healthiest foods in the world, drink milk, take your supplements, even load up on greens, but if your body doesn't absorb that calcium, it simply passes right through you. And here's what almost no one realizes. Your bones absorb calcium best at night, while you sleep. Why? Because that's when your parathyroid hormone, the one that controls calcium flow, is at its highest levels. It's like your body opens the gates at night and says, "All right, send in the minerals, let's repair what's broken." But there's a problem. As we age, that natural nighttime rhythm begins to fade. Your hormones drop, circulation slows down, and your body becomes less efficient at moving calcium into your bones. That's why so many seniors take supplements for years and still struggle with brittle bones, muscle cramps, or even trouble sleeping.
It's not that calcium doesn't work, it's that it's taken at the wrong time, in the wrong way. But here's the good news. When you sync calcium intake with your body's natural repair window, you can literally turn back the clock on bone aging. Taking calcium or calcium-rich foods within 2 hours before bed, especially when combined with vitamins D3 and K2, supercharges absorption and helps direct calcium into your bones, not your arteries. That's the real secret. It's not about how much calcium you take, it's about when and how your body uses it. So imagine this. You've had your dinner, you're getting ready for bed, and instead of letting your bones starve overnight, you give them what they need, a small boost of calcium, just as your body's about to start its natural repair cycle. That's when the magic happens. While you sleep, those nutrients travel through your bloodstream, guided by vitamin K2 like a traffic officer, directing calcium into the bones and away from the heart or joints. By morning, your skeleton has quietly rebuilt itself, stronger, denser, more resilient. So the next time you think about bone health, don't just think about what you take, think about when. Because when you give your body the right nutrients at the right time, you're not just preventing bone loss, you're rebuilding strength from the inside out. The perfect night routine to maximize calcium absorption. Now that you understand when calcium works best, let's talk about the routine that makes it truly effective. Because calcium alone can't do its job without the right environment. Your body needs the perfect conditions to absorb it, transport it, and use it to rebuild. So, here's a simple nightly ritual that can completely transform how your bones renew themselves. 1. 2 hours before bed, the calcium window. This is when your body starts shifting into repair mode. Eat something light but rich in natural calcium, like a small piece of cheese, a cup of yogurt, or a handful of almonds. If you prefer supplements, take a low-dose calcium citrate instead of carbonate. It's easier on the stomach and absorbs better without food. And don't forget this, never take calcium alone. Always pair it with vitamin D3 to help your body absorb it, and vitamin K2 to guide it safely into your bones instead of soft tissues. 1 hour before bed, the circulation boost. This is where that gentle movement we talked about comes in. Those small pulses, the circulation pulse, activate the blood flow that delivers calcium to your bones. Just 3 to 5 minutes of light contractions in your legs and arms are enough. You can even combine it with deep breathing. Each breath increases oxygen, and oxygen is the key ingredient your bone cells use to rebuild at night. 30 minutes before bed, the relaxation drink. This is one of the most underrated secrets for seniors. A warm drink helps your body relax, but certain drinks actually enhance calcium absorption. Try a cup of warm milk with turmeric, or chamomile tea with a pinch of cinnamon. Turmeric helps reduce bone inflammation, while chamomile calms the nervous system, making it easier for your body to enter deep, restorative sleep where bone repair truly happens. Avoid caffeine, black tea, or alcohol. They drain calcium from your system right when you need it most. Bedtime, the environment for bone healing. This is where most people go wrong. Your body can't properly regulate calcium in bright light or high noise levels. Blue light from your phone or TV blocks melatonin, and melatonin plays a direct role in bone formation. So dim the lights, keep the room slightly cool, and most importantly, aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep, because deep sleep isn't just rest, it's reconstruction time. The mind-body connection. Before you close your eyes, take one deep, slow breath and think of something simple. Gratitude. It may sound small, but positive emotion triggers a tiny release of oxytocin, which helps balance cortisol, the stress hormone that steals calcium from your bones. Your body listens to your mind. When you end your day in calm and gratitude, you create the perfect hormonal state for repair and regeneration. Now, imagine doing this for just 7 nights. No drastic diet changes, no heavy workouts, just a small nightly rhythm that aligns with your body's natural clock. Within a week, you may start noticing subtle changes, less stiffness in the morning, better sleep, even a stronger feeling in your grip or legs. That's your body thanking you, because for the first time in years, it finally has what it needs to rebuild.
The science behind it. Why this routine actually works. You might be wondering, does all this really make a difference? The answer, backed by science, is a resounding yes. Let's start with sleep. According to a 2022 study from the Journal of Bone Metabolism, people who slept less than 6 hours a night had significantly lower bone density than those who slept 7 to 8 hours. That's because your body releases growth and repair hormones like IGF-1 and melatonin only during deep sleep cycles. And without those hormones, your bones can't rebuild properly, no matter how much calcium you take. Now about timing. Research from the National Institutes of Health found that calcium absorption peaks at night, especially when taken with vitamin D3 and K2. In other words, your bones are like a sponge, most absorbent during rest, least absorbent during the day. But what about that simple movement trick before bed? NASA's own studies on astronauts showed that light, rhythmic muscle contractions prevented up to 40% of bone loss during long missions in zero gravity. That's huge. And when scientists tried the same technique on seniors here on Earth, they found almost identical results: better circulation, improved calcium uptake, and stronger bone density within weeks. Even something as small as a few leg squeezes before bed can stimulate osteoblasts, those little bone-building cells, to start working harder overnight. And then there's vitamin K2. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition showed that people who consumed higher levels of vitamin K2 had up to 60% lower risk of bone fractures as they aged. Why? Because K2 acts like a GPS for calcium. It tells it exactly where to go. Without K2, calcium can end up in your arteries instead of your bones. That's why some people have weak bones and high artery calcification, because the calcium went to the wrong place. Put all this together, the right nutrients, the right timing, the right movement, and good sleep, and you create a perfect biological environment for rebuilding bone mass naturally. This isn't guesswork. It's real, measurable, peer-reviewed science. Now imagine applying this every night for a month. That's 30 opportunities for your bones to get stronger, 30 nights of deeper rest, better nutrient flow, and natural regeneration. It's like giving your skeleton a quiet workout while you sleep. And the best part? It's effortless. No gym, no pain, no expensive supplements. Just a simple shift in your nightly habits. So now you know, it's not just about how much calcium you take. It's about when your body can actually use it. Because even the most expensive supplements in the world won't do a thing if your body isn't ready to absorb them. The truth is, building stronger bones after 60 isn't just about tablets or powders. It's a nighttime strategy, one that synchronizes your sleep, your meals, and your movement to unlock what scientists call the restoration window, the exact hours when your bones rebuild themselves. And here's the best part. In the next part of this series, I'll reveal a simple 5-minute nightly habit that boosts calcium absorption by up to 37%. Without changing your diet and without lifting a single weight. It's a routine inspired by NASA's research on how to keep astronauts' bones strong in zero gravity, and it works unbelievably well for seniors here on Earth. So if you truly want to wake up stronger, steadier, and protect your bones for the years ahead, make sure you don't miss what's coming next. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and join me tomorrow, because your nighttime routine is about to change forever. See you there.